Good morning and welcome to Strength and Balance on Zoom. My name is Hannah. I'm a senior fitness instructor, and this is the first Zoom class of our spring session for 2025, which is exciting. It definitely feels a little bit like spring outside, sun shining, and it's a bit chilly, but blue skies. Today, our class is going to be a back to basics style class. We're going to do some of the core movements that you'll see in lots of these classes. We're going to concentrate on lowering the weights or putting down the weights and thinking about our form, learning those core movements before we add the weight and make them more challenging in later classes. Same with our balance. We'll do some of the kind of core balance movements that we often repeat. We'll take it back to the simple things here. Let's make sure that we have some water handy to sip on through the class. You will need some weights for some of the strength exercises, the upper body stuff. I'm going to use a set of 6-pound dumbbells, and you can choose whatever size it feels right for you today. You'll need the space to move around with no obstructions, and everything today is going to be standing. You will need to use the wall for an incline for one of those strength exercises, and you'll need some kind of balance support for the balance part of the class. So a chair or other sturdy piece of furniture to hold you. All right, without any more chat, let's stand up. We're going to warm up and then we'll get right into it. I have brighter colored socks on today, so hopefully you can all see my feet really well. Good, so we're going to stand up nice and tall, and we're going to march on the spot. Let those arms swing forwards and backwards, lifting those feet right up. We'll start by taking a nice deep breath. Big inhale and exhale. Good, inhale and exhale, and again, deep breath in and out. Good, let's pull our shoulders up towards our ears and relax them down. Lift those shoulders and lower. Lift those shoulders up and down. Lift and lower, and again, pull up and down. Good, let's roll our shoulders. Nice big circles. And let's roll them forwards. So that adds one to the class. Great, let's take both hands. We're going to push away from our chest, pull those hands back, push and pull, push those hands and pull, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. Good, and once more. Great, let's push those hands up to the ceiling and pull down, push up and down, up and down, push up and pull down. Good, let's relax those arms. We're going to tap our toes out to the sides. Good, and we're going to tap those toes forwards. And then we're going to march. We're going to march for 3 and then tap that toe forwards. 1, 2, 3, toe. 1, 2, 3, toe. 1, 2, 3, toe. 1, 2, 3, toe. Good. Good, let's take one foot and tap your toe and then your heel. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. Good. I'm going to switch to the other side. Tap your toe and your heel, toe and heel, toe and heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Good. Let's tap our toes. We'll wiggle our fingers. Good. Let's dig those heels forwards. And as we do that, we'll tap our fingers to our thumb. Good. We're going to tap toes and then heels. And then you're going to reach one hand up and imagine you're picking an apple. One hand and then the other. I'm reaching up and I pick that apple and I'm tapping my toes and my heels. A lot going on. Once more. Good. Let's stand with our feet hip width apart and let's circle our hips. And back in the other direction. Excellent, and we can pause there. All right, let's begin. We have 8 exercises. We're going to do them all twice. We're going to start with a squat. We're going to stand with our feet hip width apart, standing up nice and tall. Knees are soft. I'm going to inhale, sink into my squat. Exhale, push up to stand. So we're going to do this slowly. We're not holding any extra weights. Really think about that start position. Feet flat on the floor, knees soft, chest is tall. Bend the knees, sink that bum towards the floor, and you'll push yourself back up. Inhale as you sink down. Exhale as you stand up. We're keeping the weight in our heels. Think about your toes being able to wiggle around. The weight is back in your heels. Let's do one more. Good. And then we'll stand and give those legs a shake. And we're going to do the same thing again. I'm going to turn to the side and you can watch me from this way. So again, I'm standing up nice and tall. We're doing the same thing. We're doing those squats again. My knees are soft to begin with. I inhale, sink down, and exhale, stand. So sink my bum towards the floor. Good. I inhale to lower, and then exhale to push up. Good. We don't have to be too fast. Just moving nice and slowly. Weight in your heels, shoulders relax. Last one. Good. And then we'll come up to feet. Great. We'll keep going with that lower body. Next thing we're going to do is a hip hinge. So I'm going to start standing to the side. We start in the same position, feet hip width apart and knees soft. A little bit different to our squat. So we're really thinking about a nice flat back, a straight line from your tailbone to the top of your head. Shoulders want to be engaged. We're not rounding our shoulders, but we're keeping those shoulders back. Knees soft. As we hinge, you stick your bum out behind you. Think about your chest coming towards the floor and straight up, nice and slowly. Inhale and exhale. Probably going to feel this here in your hamstrings, the muscles at the back of your legs. Good. Keep that back flat. We don't want too much. You want your knees to be soft, but we're not bending our knees really any extra as we hinge. As the name suggests, the hinge is all here in your hips. Last one. Good. And then we're going to repeat that one more time here. So feet hip width apart and knees soft, hinge. So bringing that chest towards the floor. We don't want to go down too far. You want to think about stopping when your hips can't push back anymore. So that's here for me, that's where I'm going to pause. So I don't move my chest down that far. I'm keeping my shoulders engaged. My shoulders don't move. I don't round those shoulders. And that's easier to do when you're not holding any weights. You can pretend to hold the weights and your arms don't move. Good. Last one. Excellent. We have another exercise for lower body, and then we're going to pick up the weights and move to our upper body. So we'll work on some lunges next. We'll do a forward lunge, and then we'll do a reverse lunge. Standing nice and tall. Again, feet hip width apart. We're going to take one leg, step forwards. I'm going to bend that front knee, and that back knee comes towards the floor. My back heel lifts, and I push up and bring my feet together. And then we'll alternate. So step forwards, knee comes towards the floor, push up, and stand. So you want to be nice and slowly. Really think about a tall upper body. Have a hand on the chair or support if you need it, because balance can be tricky when we're doing this. We're on one foot, basically. So let's keep going nice and slowly. And we're just lowering those knees as much as we feel comfortable. Taking deep breaths. Inhale as you lower down. And then exhale as you come back up. Good. Last ones. Very good. Good, we're going to repeat that one more time. This time we'll do a reverse lunge. And I do find, and I've heard from other people, that this can be a little bit easier on your knees. I've heard some people find it easier for their knees. I find it a little bit more difficult to balance maybe if I'm stepping backwards, but you can see how this feels. So standing up tall, taking one leg, I'm going to step back. That back knee is going to lower and my front knee lowers at the same time. And then I step up. So the same movement, we're just stepping backwards instead of forwards. Good. The chest is nice and tall. Good. Lowering towards the floor. Keep that chest tall. Looking up under head. Whoop, and wobbly. I said I found this easier for balance. Good. Bending those knees as much as that feels comfortable. Last one. Excellent. And up onto your feet. Very good. We're going to pick up our weights. We want one in each hand here. You're going to turn your palms to face me, and we're going to do some bicep curls. So we're standing up tall, feet hip width apart and knees soft. Now we don't do, we do less kind of core specific exercises than anything else, but that's because we can really easily work our core while we're kind of focusing on another area of our body, and bicep curls are a really good example of this. So as I'm standing here, standing up tall, I'm going to do my bicep curls. I can also think about my core muscles. So I can pull that belly button in towards my spine. Another way to think about it is imagine that you zipped up a jacket that was maybe a little bit tight. So you're kind of holding holding things in, engaging those core muscles. Do that as you stand, and then you have some extra core work going on. Even if you're not really focusing on that, as you stand, your core muscles are working. They work all the time to hold us up. But if you want to think about engaging those core muscles, you add a little bit extra to this upper body movement. And so we're working our core. There's opportunities to work our core all of the time. So feet hip width apart, knees soft, standing up tall. Think about those stomach muscles, those core muscles. Pull that belly button in towards your spine a little bit. And then let's start the actual exercise. So we're lifting one weight at a time up towards your shoulder and then slowly lowering down. So exhale as you lift and then inhale as you lower. Good. Great. And we want to be nice and slow as we lower the weight. We're breathing out as we lift up. And we're breathing in as we lower down. Good, couple more. Excellent, good. We can keep our arms relaxed for a moment. So we're going to repeat these, but we'll do some different variations. So I want you to hold your weight so that your palms are facing your body, again, standing tall. And we're doing the bicep curl, and that dumbbell is the other way around. So this is a hammer curl because it kind of looks like you're holding a hammer. Did you find this a little bit easier to hold the weight this way? So let's keep lowering nice and slowly. Think about that nice core engagement. Good. And let's pause there. Let's turn those palms to face me again. This time I'm going to take my hand up to my opposite shoulder. So adding a little bit of a rotation, a little extra shoulder work with the bicep curl this time. Again, breathing out as you lift, breathing in as you lower. Great. And we'll do one more. Good. Keep both weights facing me. And we'll do 3 where we move both arms at the same time. So here's 3. And then 2. And here's 1. Excellent. Let's pop the weights down. Very good, very good. So it's fun to see how that's one simple movement, like the bicep curl. We can change it up. We can add little variations to make that a different exercise. Just one weight this time. We're going to work more of our shoulder and back muscles here. And we're doing a row, a bent over row. I'm going to stand with my 1 foot forward, and then I'm going to hinge slightly forward at the hip, and I have a hand here resting on my front leg. You can also come forward. I can put a hand on the wall. If I had a table here, I could have a hand on the table. Actually, I'm going to keep my hand on the wall. It's quite comfy. Something to support you here as you stay in this hinged, slightly inclined position. You see I've got a weight in my hand. I'm going to row that arm up. So my elbow comes right back past my body. My hand is up towards my armpit, and then I slowly lower down. So imagine the kind of movement you'd make. You were starting, like starting a leaf blower or starting an engine, one of those pull engines. This is the kind of exercise that would strengthen those same muscles. One thing to watch for is we always want to keep this shoulder engaged. So I stop here, and you can see my shoulder is still engaged. The weight doesn't drag me down. So if I pull that arm back, this would be too much lowering of that arm. I've been pulled forwards. by that weight. We want to think about keeping that shoulder locked in, that shoulder engaged. My hand comes up and I lower it down. So my shoulder doesn't move too much. Hopefully you can see what I mean there. Let's do one more. And we'll switch to the other arm. So 1 foot forwards. Can't hold the wall quite as well here because of the way I'm standing. I'm going to row. I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Row that arm back. So watch my shoulder. Stays engaged. I'm not being pulled forward by that weight. I'm in control all the time. So big exhale as I pull up. Inhale as I slowly lower down. Good, 2 more. Excellent, very good. We will repeat that, I think, just for a couple. Let's grab that second weight. Knees soft, hinge forward, so you have a weight in each hand, and we're going to alternate hands. So we'll do 1, and then 2, and then let's do both. So as you do both, you're really thinking about squeezing through those shoulders. Good. And last one. 1, 2, and then both. Good. And up to feet. All right, pop the weights down for a moment. We have another couple where we're going to use those weights. Just relax your arms here for a minute, and you can watch me for a moment here. We're going to take one weight, and we're going to lift it up above our heads. I want you to think about lowering that weight slowly behind your head and then straight up to the ceiling. Now you can do this without the weight. It can be hard for shoulder mobility to bring that weight behind your head. If you find that tricky, do it with just your body weight. So hands up to the ceiling, bending at the elbows, that hand comes behind your head, straight up. I'm going to turn around so you can watch this from the other angle. So my arms are straight up to the ceiling, bend at the elbows, lower that hand behind my head, and then straight up. So it can be tricky. But that shoulder mobility, you might want to decrease the size of your weight or pop that weight down. Let's do a round of these here, straight up to the ceiling. Bend at the elbow, lower down. Exhale to lift up. So we're nice and slow as we're lowering, and we're going just as far as we can. We should never force that movement. And last one. Good. And then lower that hand down. Excellent. We will do another round of these. So this exercise works our tricep muscle. So that's the muscle at the back of your arm here. It's involved in lifting and lowering or moving your elbow. So it's involved in bending the arm. Let's take that weight on just hands straight up to the ceiling. Lower down behind your head and straight up. Big inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Nice and slowly. We'll do one more. Good. And lower those arms down. Great, we have one more, and it's going to be hands up overhead again. I didn't plan this this class in a very user-friendly way. My arm's getting more and more tired. That's okay. We're going to take our weights. We're going to have one in each hand. I'm going to hold them here at my shoulders. And I'm going to push up one weight to the ceiling, and then the other. Good, so pushing that weight straight up, And then slowly lower down. A big shoulder movement here. Again, it might be best for you to do this with no weights or a slightly smaller weight. Let's make sure we're lowering slowly. And nice smooth movements. Good. Once more each side. Good. And we'll lower those weights down. Excellent. We will do that one more time. With this overhead press, you can also hold your weights out to the side in this goal post. I find this, keeping my elbows close in, is definitely an easier variation. That's the one I like to do the best. This one is definitely a bigger challenge, especially at the end of the workout, like we're doing this now. So I'm going to keep my weights here, close to my head. So let's push up one, and then the other. Good. Breathing out as you push up, and then breathing in as you slowly lower down. Good. Excellent. Good. And let's do two where we do both hands at the same time. And last one. Good. And let's pop the weights down. All right, very good. You can relax those arms. That's it for them today. We are going to do one more at the wall here, where we'll work it's a bit more of a core exercise. You probably will feel your arms, but it won't be the same as pushing the weights. So let's stand against the wall. You want to be arm's length away. So my hands are on the wall at about shoulder height. Take a big step back. So now my head is closer than my feet. And this is going to be my plank position. I'm just adjusting my hands so they are level with my shoulders here. This is my plank position, and I'm going to hold this for a count of about 30 seconds. I'm pulling my belly button in towards my spine, taking nice deep breaths. So really engaging those core muscles. You want to be looking at a spot in between your hands. So not down at the floor or up to the ceiling, but looking straight ahead. Good, that's 30 seconds. I'm going to step out of that and we will do another one here. Now, of course, there's lots of variations that you can add to this plank. You can move the plank itself. You can use a lower incline that's going to be a little bit more challenging. And eventually you can come down onto the floor. We might start doing that this session. Some plank work on the ground. And of course, there would always be the standing option if you preferred. So let's get back into that position. Hands shoulder height. Let's walk our feet away from the wall. Look at that spot in between your hands. Take nice deep breaths. Think about engaging those core muscles. Good. We're over halfway. And just 5 seconds left here. Good, and let's stand up. Wonderful. All right, grab a drink. We're going to move on and work on our balance. Great. So we're starting with our feet really close to each other. This feels like a way to begin that balance challenge, but it's not too tricky. Make sure that you have something to support you within an arm's reach. I actually have a chair right here that you can't see on camera, and I also have the wall here. So I am well supported on all sides. Let's take a moment to really think about our feet. Feet should be relaxed. Toes all spread out, all in contact with the floor. And knees soft. We're standing with those feet really close to each other to balance or challenge that balance a tiny bit. Let's take an arm up to the ceiling. And then let's take the other hand up. We bring our arms to the sides. And let's reach one forwards, one backwards. And then the other way. Arms out to the sides again. We will aeroplane our arms, one up, one down. Good, and we can relax our arms. We're going to keep our feet fairly close together. Let's take our right foot, just move back a bit. We're going to tap that toe forwards and then to the side and then behind us. So tap, I'm just going to move slightly so you can see my feet properly the whole time. To the side and then behind. So tap that toe forwards, to the side and behind. So that foot that's on the ground has to do some work here to really stay relaxed as we're moving the other foot. We want that knee to be nice and soft. Good. Excellent. And let's go once more all the way around. Good, and we'll switch our feet. So we'll stand on our right foot, and then the left foot will move. Tap that toe forwards, to the side, and behind. You might find this side is the easier side, or maybe it's the more difficult side. Good, make that nice big circle. Forwards, to the side, and behind. Forwards, to the side, and behind. Excellent. Foot on the floor is relaxed. And once more round. Good. And let's stand with our feet hip width apart. Knees soft. I'm going to take one foot off the floor. So I'm going to lift my left foot and I'm going to hold that where it's comfortable and stand on my right foot. So that right foot really has to be nice and relaxed. You have to look up and ahead. Think about keeping those shoulders relaxed, upper body nice and relaxed. Good. Try and find something to look at that isn't moving as well. That's going to help to keep you relaxed. Now we need to take that foot that's off the floor, that's my left foot, circle your ankle here behind you. And in the other direction too. Good, and let's switch feet. Standing on that left foot, foot relaxed, knee soft. Let's take that right foot up. Hold where it's comfortable. Find something to look at that isn't moving. Good. And let's circle that ankle. Good, and in the other direction. Good, and then place that foot on the floor. Great. Let's stand with our feet hip width apart. We're going to shift our weight from one foot to the other. So keeping our feet on the floor to begin with. And we're moving from one side to the other. Good. Let's start using our hands a little bit too. As I move to the left, I push my left hand. And same on the right. So our aim is just to move our weight from one side to the other. The squeaky floor. Good. As I move to the left, I'm going to take my right hand across my body. So I'm really stretching, moving that weight. Good. Let's relax our arms and let's start lifting our feet, stepping from one foot to the other. Great. And as you step onto your right foot, let's raise the left, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And onto the left foot, raise the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Onto the right foot again. Raise the left. Let's bring those arms up in the air. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And shift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. It is time for us to stretch. So let's take one hand and we're going to reach that hand across your body and hold here. Nice deep breaths. And let's switch to the other side. Good. We're going to take one hand up to the ceiling. Let's bend at the elbow, hand behind your back. Stick the other hand, and you can use it to stabilize this elbow. Good. Relax those arms nice and slowly. Let's switch. Reach for the ceiling. Hand behind your back. Good, and let's relax those arms nice and slowly. Great, we're gonna have a seat, so grab a chair, sit yourself down. We're gonna sit forward in our chair, stretch one leg forward, heel on the floor, toe to the ceiling. And then let's hinge forward at the hip. Feel that nice big stretch in the back of your leg. And we can switch sides. Good. Let's sit up and we'll sit right back in our chair. Pull one knee in. And let's circle this ankle. Good. And the other way. Good. Relax that foot. Let's switch to the other side. Pull your knee in. Circle your ankle. And the other way. Good, and let's relax this foot and we'll stand up. Reach those arms behind us, reach for the back of the room. Take a deep breath in. And let's exhale, wrap those arms around you. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze and a pat on the back. Thanks everybody, thanks for joining me for this first class of the session. I will see you again later this week.
Thank you, Hannah. See you tomorrow.
You will, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks friends.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.